Hey there! My name is Andrea Butcher, and I am the president at HRD Advisory Group. And I am so fortunate to get to do work every single day that I love so much and that I'm super passionate about. So I'm eager to tell you about that in the hopes that you can also find your bliss. That is my big encouragement to anyone thinking about their future career is follow and pay attention to those things that you love, the things that make your heart light up, the things that make you go, oh my gosh, I want to learn more about that. Follow that, and no doubt it will lead you to a career that gives you so much fulfillment and enjoyment. So I went to Indiana State University many years ago, pre-med, thinking that I was going to be a doctor. And so I was focused on biology. And my first year in college, I took a Psych 101 class, and I knew immediately this was my path. I really resonated with psychology because psychology is all about why people do what they do. And that is something that is so important to me. What motivates people, what gets people fired up. And so the work that I do at HRD is I am an executive coach and I facilitate leadership development. I lead a team of HR professionals doing other things in the human resources space. So at my organization, we help our clients with recruiting. We help our clients build HR and talent processes. And then we also do the work that I mentioned that I'm really passionate about, leadership development and coaching, helping people to be their best. And we also are career coaches. So people who have been let go from their organization will come alongside them and help them find a job that they love. So let me tell you a little bit about my path. So I was on this path at Indiana State with this psychology degree, and through college, my goal was to become a clinical psychologist. As I've looked back on my career, I realized that God always had a bigger plan, and sometimes I tried to get ahead of him because clinical psychology was not in the cards for me. I applied my senior year to several schools, but it was such a competitive environment. These schools would get thousands of applicants and choose only 6 people. Looking back now, it was a blessing in disguise, but I was really disappointed as a senior in college that I wasn't accepted to these PhD programs. I did, however, have an advisor that told me, Andrea, you should check out human resources development. You really liked your industrial organizational psychology class, he said. So why not check that out? There was a master's program in human resource development at Indiana State. And as I dug into it, interestingly, it's all the work that I'm doing today. It was all about helping people be their best, encouraging, looking for strengths in people, evaluating talent within an organization, all of the work that I'm doing today. So that really set me on a course. I stayed at Indiana State. I got a master's degree right after my four-year undergraduate degree. And then I moved to Chicago. And at that time, the job market was really strong. And I got a job as an HR generalist, a human resources generalist at a company called Premier Farnell, based in London. So for 8 years, I got to travel all over the world doing human resources in different business units around the world, across the globe. And what I found was, while certainly there are cultural differences, that people are the same wherever you go. Everyone has fears, everyone has challenges, everyone has strengths that they're trying to find a way to play out every day. And so I got to, for several years across that company, I got to do a lot of leadership development and a lot of coaching, and I really found my passion there. I was certified in some training programs like the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It's a really popular leadership program. The Leadership Challenge, Strengths Finder, lots of different assessment tools to assess different strengths and motivations like DISC and MBTI and Strengths Finder, and I use all of those assessments today. So I moved to Indianapolis from Chicago in 2005, and I connected with a company called Flashpoint. They're a leadership development firm doing the work that I do now for lots of different companies. But in 2005, I had just been doing that within Premier Farnell, and all of a sudden I realized, oh my gosh, I could be a consultant and I could do this work for lots of organizations. And that's what I did. So I worked there for 9 years with incredible clients like Vera Bradley and CenturyLink and Marathon Petroleum Company. Maybe you've heard of some of those brands. Well, I got to work with their leaders, helping them to be their best, helping them lead through their challenges. After 9 years, I decided I was ready for the next level. I had never worked as an executive inside of a business, and I wanted to do that. And I connected with a company called Defenders. You may know that name from BizTown. Defenders asked me to join as their head of human resources for their field organization. So 3,000 employees, I got to oversee the recruiting, the development, the employee relations issues and challenges, and work really closely with their leaders to help them be their best and support that field organization. I was there for only 3 years when HRD reached out to me and said, hey, Andrea, we're in a phase of transition. The founder told me I'm retiring and I need somebody to replace me. Would you want to come and run our business? Those aren't the kind of phone calls you get every day. So I took that really seriously. And in conversations with him, I realized there's a ton of potential in this business. This is a business that does work that I'm so passionate about. Gosh, I can't imagine running a company around that. I'd never run a company before, and I certainly had some doubt and some fear and some questions about that. But what I knew for certain is I was so passionate about the product. I was passionate about the work. I was passionate about recruiting and talent development and career coaching and helping people be their best and setting up processes that support employees in organizations. And that's what my company does. You can see our tagline, your people are passion, because we are so passionate about the work that we do. Hopefully that comes through. So I've been at HRD now for over 3 years, which is hard to believe. And through all of that, as I've followed those things that I've loved, there's been energy around that to take me to the next step. So follow your bliss, no matter what you do. Thank you. And you can find me on LinkedIn, Andrea Butcher. Again, I'm the president of HRD, and I'd love to connect with you.